Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Monday evening Star Trek continuing mission where we boldly go into the Shackleton Expanse. We have our crew with us. We have a potential suicide mission in play tonight. So, nothing to it but to do it. Let's go around and say hi very quick. Please tell me who you are, who you'll be playing, and then we're going to get into our Science Officer's Log to begin this mission of Star Trek. Let's start with Lieutenant Commander Nat Nealon. Lauren?
Hello. I'm playing that character, Lieutenant Commander Natalia Nealon, who's feeling fine right now because she's never been wrong about anything ever in her life. Back to you, Greg.
Thank you, Commander. Lieutenant Commander. As we drop down to our Ferengi, Steve, who will you be playing tonight? Can't hear you.
He's playing no one. He's playing
my mouse went dead.
Okay, you're good. Okay. You're back.
Yep. All right. Hi, everybody. I am playing Ensign Soba. Like Greg said, I'm a Ferengi. If Soba had heard him say the word suicidal, he would probably not be going on this mission. So this is, he's going to stay by the shuttle bay probably and cower.
Sounds good. Wink. That's always how it works in Star Trek. And let's go over to Allison. Allison, my friend, how are you this evening and who will you be playing?
Hey, everybody, it's Allison. I am playing Chief Engineer Lieutenant Kander Quinn.
Fantastic. And we're going to jump over our Science Officer and go straight to Summer. Summer, who will you be playing this fine Monday Eve?
I am going to be playing Captain Elsie Locke, and she's never been wrong. Lauren, never been wrong, not once in her life.
Sounds like a lie.
Same as me, never been wrong, not once, not
I'm
ever.
an empath, she's lying. Oh,
no, I'm not. I'm telling the truth. I've never been wrong.
Migraine, she's lying.
Okay, and as the AM/FM crosses with falsehoods, we will go down to my buddy Hawk. Hawk, who will you be playing? And when you're done telling us that, tell us what your character is doing and give us your log, my friend.
I am playing Lieutenant Malachi Jabez. He is a joined Trill, partially by choice, partially not. And he is making the final preparations, packing all the gear that he thinks he's going to need for this mission. This away mission that we're going on, not a suicide mission, an away mission that is going to be quite challenging. And as soon as he finishes everything, he puts in what he hopes is not going to be his final log entry. Science Officer's Log, stardate 73114.7. I'm preparing for a mission that could either save us all or lead to my demise. I'm headed to the Neutronium Sphere along with Ensign Revo Farron from Security and Chief Dina Buranu from Engineering to see if we can, 1, find the away team from the Artemis, and 2, shut down whatever is on this sphere that is drawing radiation from the black hole towards an M-class pre-warp planet. The lead officers on the Athena are divided on whether to intervene on their behalf. Most of the team is in favor. The captain is in favor of just focusing on getting out of the Shackleton Expanse. Both sides have merit. I've requested and been granted 18 hours to accomplish this. I hope it is possible. Part of me is trepidations about the very mission I proposed. We must work quickly, not knowing what time distortions may occur as we get closer to the singularity. I've given Lieutenant Gentile charge of the science team in my hopefully brief absence. I have all confidence in her skills. My hope is to find Valeria Evo quickly in order to find out what has happened and how we can stop it. If we can. End log.
And as the log ends, we leave the exterior of the USS Athena, NCC 1933. We travel through its hull into its secondary shuttle bay. Inside this shuttle bay, a mirror to the one that was destroyed in last episode, we see a runabout parked in the rear of the shuttle and rear of the bay. The tagline Odyssey emblazoned along one nacelle. The deck crew moves here and there. For the command crew that is currently also aboard or inside the bay, they would recognize that this crew is the second shift crew. first shift having been killed in the prior explosion. And as people go hither and yon, prepping one of the regular shuttles for departure to the neutronium sphere, we find all of our characters as they either prepare to go or prepare to say goodbye. Take it away, my friends. What will you do?
Lieutenant Quinn is in conversation with a very tall human woman, black skin, and she wears on her collar the insignia of a chief. She is Chief Dina Burhan, who is the senior enlisted officer in the engineering section. All right, Chief, you've got everything that you need. I mean, I can't think of any other equipment that might be helpful. We can try to beam stuff if we need to, but you're pretty much on your own once you get there, right?
Understood, Lieutenant. I'm ready.
Yeah, I know you are. Look, Chief, just be safe down there, all right? I really need you up here.
She offers a rare smile and says, "You be safe too, Lieutenant. As far as I know, the sphere doesn't have shuttle bays that explode."
Well, I hope it doesn't. When you get back, I'm studying for that bridge officer's exam right now. The Starfleet Academy exam entrance exams are coming up. If you want to hop into the study group, we'd love to have you.
Permission to speak freely?
Of course, Chief. I just reach out to shake her hand and give her a good, firm handshake. Step back, let her finish prepping.
Yep, she starts double checking and triple checking her, basically her loadout. Her personal tricorder, her Evo suit. She's just going through everything to make sure that it is up to her standards and yours.
Elsie's here. She's just kind of hanging back while everybody makes the final preparations. But as each of them of the away team become ready, she goes up to them and thanks them for being a part of the team and shakes their hand until she gets to Jabez. Do you feel ready then?
I feel as ready as I can ever be for something like this, Captain. After all, I'm the one to propose this.
I want you to know that I fully trust you, and any decisions that you make while you're there, I will stand by 110%.
Thank you, Captain. And I assure you that my first priority will be taking care of the people you're sending along with me. That will be my first priority.
And of course, coming back safely.
Of course. And just in case, Lieutenant Gentile has the isoboramine protocols on file in case of need.
She nods and reaches out to shake your hand.
And I take it, grasp it firmly.
She starts to step away, but she kind of overhears this conversation that's going on with Quinn and turns back and says, before you go, can I ask you something?
Feel free.
I was making some notes about the mission, and I saw Well, Lieutenant, did you not take your bridge officer's exam?
Well, that depends. Are you talking to Malachi the host, or are you talking to Jabez the symbiont?
Malachi.
Malachi has not. Jabez has sat through it 3 times.
She just kind of nods, takes a step back.
In the background, you can hear Quinn, who's been listening into this conversation, giggles just a little bit, is not able to keep it in. Captain, yeah, that sorry, that might have just slipped out of the records. I was doing some an audit of the records, and I don't know, the records of those bridge exams might have just slipped out. I'll make sure they get back in them. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Sorry.
She just kind of shakes her head. My God.
Nat turns to Farron, not rolling her eyes because she doesn't do that anymore. Seems like everybody's in better spirits all of a sudden.
It must be in the air. I'm happy just because
You're
we're
always
not
happy.
We're not sitting around doing any. He keeps his feet. We're not just, sitting around with our thumbs up our asses. This is doing something. With all due respect.
Oh, no need. I absolutely agree. Well?
Is this... Wait. Lieutenant Commander, is this the part where... Are you gonna tell me something special and share with me something private in case I die?
No, I was gonna see if you wanted to share something with me in case you die and, you want me to tell someone. Is that what people do?
I think it is.
You have a will? Okay, you tell me something special.
Well, I don't want to tell anybody else. Can I whisper it to you?
Yes.
His earring jingles a bit. He leans in close. I could kick your ass in a straight-up fight. Don't tell anybody that. Just have that read when they blow my ashes into some Romulan's lungs.
She straight up snorts through her nose, which she hasn't done since she's been here. Well, I was gonna say, you're the only person on this boat I like, but I take it back.
Oh, thank God. That's a hell of a thing to end on. I don't want to carry that with me into a dangerous situation, Lieutenant Commander.
You'd be all distracted. You would think maybe you were good at your job or something.
We can't have that.
No, we cannot. We cannot have that. Your head, it would just get even bigger.
I do want to say I'm very happy now to know that I'm going down with a non-tested bridge officer, a Ferengi. The engineer's all right, but...
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to, tie one hand behind my back, or is there anything else that...
No, I think you've got the just right amount of challenge for you.
So a test it is. That's what I thought. I will, I'll do my best on the test, Lieutenant Commander.
Do me a favor and ace it.
I'll do what I do best. I'll cheat. He walks off.
No, he doesn't, because we do our secret handshake.
Well, he walks off and everybody dismisses the conversation as having been over. He spins on his heel and they quickly do the handshake, and anybody that would turn back in time would just hear the as they pull their...
Incredible.
Ensign Soba is of course listening to everything everybody's saying. He's off by himself. He's usually feels left out, but he doesn't really bother him. He's loading up an empty crate while everybody's talking and smoozing, and they're all heartfelt goodbyes and yada yada yada. And he's going and he's putting the crate in there that's very empty, and he's setting the tricorder to mineral finds, and he stashes something else underneath of his outfit, and he's goes into the shuttle and prepares to, he's pretty adept with the shuttlecraft, so he is starting to set all coordinates in and stuff like that, and he's pretty much ready. Nervous, very nervous. He's nervous. He overheard Ensign Revo say something about a Ferengi, an unproven bridge officer, and he thinks to himself, the Bajoran, he's an ensign, and he's talking about us, and he just starts kind of chuckling.
It is that time for the crew of the shuttle to load on. Is there anything else that the home team would like to say before the away team departs?
I mean, Elsie is struggling with them leaving. But she just steps up and says, "We wish you all the best, and we'll be awaiting your safe return. Good luck."
Chief Barhanu and Ensign Revo, they both nod. Barhanu would maybe cast a glance back towards Lieutenant Quinn's way. Ensign Revo would not look at Lieutenant Commander Nat Leland. He just slings his Phase 3 over the outside of his Evo suit and strides into the shuttle. At this point, when everybody is loading in, if you would like to do, this is by no means foreshadowing, but it is in the rules that if you would like to do a pre-flight check of the shuttle, I will allow anybody in the area to do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'd love to.
We would love to do that.
This is so in the future when I don't mention it and something goes wrong, I can say,
honor.
remember back when. Okay.
So magnanimous. What do we need to do?
I need an insight plus engineering just to do a walk around.
From anybody? Anybody can do this?
Anybody anybody present, yep.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Quinn?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm going to do one. He's going to set his coordinates the way he likes them on the shuttle, too.
Yeah. I will do one as well.
I'm not giving you momentum for all of this, but I will tell you all the same thing. It maxes out at 2. The shuttle seems shipshape, ready to go. You don't see anything that seems out of the ordinary. Soba, you are able to tweak the controls until they are more fitting for your preferences.
Gotcha.
Quinn to shuttle launch control. Shuttle 2 is checked and ready to go.
This is shuttle control. Shuttle, you are free to leave. Soba, that's your cue to take off, which I'm not going to make you roll for because you're flying out of a shuttle bay.
Lieutenant Jabez, are you ready to go, sir?
Engage, Ensign.
And he kind of like, if there could be like a cross, I don't know what the Ferengi like cross sign is, but that's pretty much what he is thinking in his head. Why am I doing this? This better be worth it.
The Ferengi sign of the cross is, of course.
Ching, 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 ching.
Okay. So as they fly out, we are going to fly out with the shuttlecraft as we continue out into space. And when we get out there, we will... Let me put on my... I would like from Ensign Soba, I would like a reason and a con as you begin to experience some of the gravity swells that are between here and the sphere. Fantastic. And as you travel the space between the Athena and the sphere, it is at this time that anyone that cares to look out would notice the grayish-green Class M planet that is just beyond the field of the black hole. Soba, you experience this more profoundly. The increased gravity begins to kind of swell and recorrect your instrumentation as you feel something push, almost like a strong wind on the interstate would push the side of the shuttle, but so far you're able to compensate. Anybody else in the back wouldn't even feel a difference. You are flying like the crow by a wire. But
Who's beside me? Who is to my right?
It's up to you all.
I would say Jabez would be beside me.
I would be right there beside you.
Lieutenant, what's going to be our first objective when we get down here?
Our first objective is going to be finding a place where we can either safely dock and or land.
Oh, that is
And
no
then
problem. That will be no
Get
problem.
inside.
Yes, sir.
While this is going on, are we in sensor range for the sphere?
You are.
I would like to do knowing it's going to be difficult because of the material the sphere is made of. I do want to try to run some sort of sensor scan to see if I can detect a betazoid anywhere.
You can do me an insight and a science right here as you're trying some things.
Soba will be looking for a flat piece of ground, nothing near like a cliff or anything he's looking for a long, like almost anything like a runway kind of, but he can just set right down, nothing around it that's going to destroy the shuttle or cause damage to the shuttle.
As everyone gets closer, and with the aid of the scans and the looking for the aforementioned place to set down, you all notice that the shell or the surface of the sphere, though made of neutronium, the densest material that Starfleet has encountered, it holds a dull color to it, but it also holds a bit of like a luminosity, a glow about it, and traveling in almost Tron light cycle pulses all over the length and the equators and the meridians of this sphere are these blasts and pulses of blue lines, and they could turn at 90 degrees or any variation thereof as they kind of whip and shoot across the surface of this sphere. And Lieutenant Jabez, with your sensor sweep, you do not pick up a betazoid. You can't pierce the exterior of the sphere, but you are able to ascertain the trajectory of the previous shuttle. As you can see, even though it's degraded quite a bit, you're able to follow in the trail that seems to be at the center of where all of these lines are either terminating or originating. And the closer you get, an aperture spirals open, and like an iris, you can see the interior of the sphere. You are still a ways out though, and in the back, Chief Brahanu is prepping the sled that has the gravity dampener on it, getting it ready to roll out of the back of the shuttle to keep you all from being crushed. And if anyone turns around to look, she would say, "Just remember, we must stay within 30 feet. Anything more than 10 meters and, 7 meters might be safer. Stay close, or it'll..."
Soba's eyes gets big.
Duly noted, Chief.
And
Well,
Chief...
Ensign Sorbo, looks like someone left the front door open for us.
Lieutenant Jabez, it's Soba.
Soba, sorry.
That's okay. Can I, making small talk, what kind of resources are, what could something we could use to help us out down there, Lieutenant? Is anything possible?
At
What's
this
around?
point, I don't know. I've been scanning more for life forms than for anything else, and this neutronium makes it very hard to get a hold of anything. We're barely able to find their previous tracking, the track of the Artemis team's flight in. I'm sure there is lots of things that your Ferengi hands would love to get your fingers on, but speaking...
Lieutenant, I'm starting to think you are prejudiced to the Ferengi. How dare you?
I've been on the ship long enough. I know how your mind thinks a little bit. And I don't look down on you.
Lieutenant, I have nothing but the respect for you and your symbiont there in your belly.
In the back, Ensign Revo leans forward to Chief Brahanu and just whispers beneath his breath, "When this goes bad, I'll make sure you die last."
Soba hears him and says, "Good, Bajoran. Hopefully you'll be the first."
"I can guarantee that won't be the case, Ensign Soba."
And Soba kind of like a glint in his eye, like, okay.
Don't worry, Ensign. If things go the way we plan on going, that's not going to be a factor.
Don't worry, Lieutenant. There are people back there. They've been running amok anyway, so don't even worry about them.
Oh, he looks at Brahanu. "It's gonna be fun. You'll be last. My hand to God." As we pull away from the shuttle, as it approaches the aperture, we go back to the Athena. And as we go back to the Athena, I will ask my group, as we'll say a good 15-20 minutes of flight time has passed, what are you all doing?
So there's a probe.
I've heard tell of this probe.
Yeah, this guy named Greg told me about it.
I wouldn't trust him.
I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Probes in Star Trek. How can I talk to the probe? What is it doing? Is it just scanning? What is up? I will probe the probe.
You absolutely can. You would know this, and everybody from a cadet at the academy forward would know that most of the normal class probes, they're shielded for specific environmental circumstances, whether they're being fired into nebula or extreme heat or electrical discharge or anything like that. But as far as just scanning them and reading, basic information from them, it's not as if they're shielded to protect their information. And many times there are certain ones that are spy probes and things like that, but you don't have any of those. You're presumably the Artemis and the Athena, if mirrored, have survey and research probes, which by their very definition are open to accept all information and at the same time be able to delineate such information. So if you would like to scan it, you may absolutely do so. I will let you know this, without the need for a roll, that the probe fired from the Artemis is at the edge of your sensor range. You know it's there, but it's just outside of short-range sensors, and short range is about all you have here in the Shackleton Expanse. Things get a little dicey when you try to extend your scope.
Okay. Yeah, I basically just want to know what it's doing right now so that we can decide what our next step is. Because I'm pretty sure we want to try and get them to come back, but we need to be able to establish communication, which we can't do right now. Right. So yes, I just want to know what it's doing.
Okay. So go ahead and you can use the Athena to aid in this, but all I would need is a reason, or I would even take a control here if someone's trying to do something precise, and a science, as you are just trying to figure out what's going on.
Cool. Sure.
And this is a DC 1, so anything above a 1 would be momentum.
That's good. And then the Athena is boop. And it's the same for the Athena?
Yes.
Is it sensors?
Sensors, yes, correct.
Sensors and science. Okay.
Please, yes.
Got it. I feel like we have a thing for this. Do.
That is 2. You needed 1. Book 1 momentum down. As you are able to ascertain the following. The probe is in a... It's not floating, it's maintaining a specific distance from you. So if you try to like thruster or move closer to it, it seems to pull away at an equal rate. It's not scanning you. It doesn't seem to be transmitting anything. There's not a communication or information being cycled through the probe or produced by the probe. It is, however, facing your general direction physically.
Okay. What's the captain up to?
Nobody knows. She, as soon as they left, she left very quickly. And she's in her ready room. She has not come out yet.
Can I knock on the door?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Come in.
Captain, the probe that the Artemis released, been doing some basic scans, and it seems to just be keeping a certain distance from us. It doesn't appear to be scanning us for anything. I think maybe they just want to know where we are.
She didn't look at you when you came in.
That's fine.
But she finally turns. Okay. That's good to know, I guess. They're just keeping an eye on us. Maybe they're worried that we'll pursue them if they think we're hostile towards them.
Maybe we could reestablish communication by sending a smaller party over.
Leave the ship.
Well, they might be less defensive, say, if we sent a runabout.
I do have a few concerns, given what happened last time we left the ship. And I also have a few worries about what happens if you get stuck with them.
I doubt that would happen.
You do?
Yeah, it'd be a pretty hostile work environment, and that's not good for anybody.
Somehow I doubt that Khan cares.
But we could always wait until we have more information about what's going on with the ship. I just didn't want them to leave.
No, I don't want them to leave either. Let's just give it some time. Maybe if they see that we're sitting and waiting, and that we're sending a team, maybe they'll see that we're trying to help.
That kind of shifts her weight. And
You're
just
impatient?
Nope.
You can speak freely to me.
I think you could definitely be right.
I could give you something to do if you like.
I have plenty to do, but if you need something done.
You just seem incredibly anxious. I know that you wish that you were with them.
Yes, I do.
But I need you here.
What is it you'd like me to do?
I thought you said you had plenty to do.
I do. You seem to have something, but if not, I will go back to the bridge.
Don't let me keep you.
Yep, she leaves.
Lieutenant Quinn?
Lieutenant Quinn is making checks of the engineering staff around the ship, ensuring that gaps are filled in, particularly where we've lost people. She steps into the turbo lift and says, Deck 6. No, wait. Stop. Computer, locate the captain.
The captain is in her ready room.
Deck 1. And heads to the bridge. And I imagine that she's perhaps coming onto the bridge just as Lieutenant Nealon is coming out of the ready room. Lieutenant Commander?
Lieutenant?
Captain?
Mm-hmm.
Everything okay?
Why wouldn't it be? Keeps walking.
That's a good point. I also keep walking and ring the chime on the captain's ready room door.
Bling, bling.
By all means, come in.
Captain, she just stands in the doorway. I don't mean to interrupt. Do you have a few moments?
I have nothing but time.
Yeah, but does that mean you have a few moments for me? I just want to...
Yes, I do.
Quinn steps in and stands a step or two behind the chairs in front of your ready room desk. Captain, how do I... Can I speak freely, ma'am?
Of course.
Ma'am, I don't understand. The question about the planet and whether we should do anything to save it. This seems like it's not even a question. I'm trying to pay attention. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. And as terrible an environment as this has been, I just don't understand why you said what you said. It just doesn't seem right.
She's kind of nods a little bit. No, I surprisingly can see things from your side, regardless of how I feel personally. Lieutenant, why do you think I became a captain?
Why does anybody become a captain? I guess because you had an opportunity to do some great things for the Federation and for Starfleet. And I mean, I've served with you for 3 years. You're a good captain. What do you mean? What are you trying to get at?
I'm not so selfless as that. On my very first mission, I lost 6 of my crew members. And I saw how my captain handled things. And I thought to myself, I can do better than that. My primary objective in all things is keeping my crew safe. That's above everything else.
Captain, how did you get through the Kobayashi Maru? It just seems like that's the whole point of the test, is to teach you that, at least that's what they told us. You can't always do that. You have to be ready to make that call.
Can you keep a secret?
Of course.
I mean a real secret. Can you really keep one?
Yes. It's not something illegal, is it?
Not exactly, although it is against the rules.
Oh, well. Yeah, I can keep a secret.
I didn't take it.
And what do you mean you didn't take it? How do you not take it?
Of course, we all know that it's a no-win scenario. So I figured the best way to win would be to avoid it altogether.
Quinn literally laughs out loud because that is simultaneously the most bizarre and brilliant thing she's maybe ever heard. So how did you not take it? What did you doctor the records or something?
She doesn't say anything.
You did, didn't you?
I suggest making friends in high places. Quinn.
Are we talking, Captain, about making friends in high places or making friends in high places?
Both have their benefits.
Well, I hope we can continue to avoid the no-win scenario. Although, I'm not sure we've been doing that great a job so far.
No, we haven't. This has been a test of all of us.
Quinn turns to go, but just before she gets within sensor range of the door, Captain, the 6 people, your 6 friends, do the nightmares stop?
They haven't yet.
and turns and walks back onto the bridge.
And that's where we will leave our group on the Athena as we pull back out through space, through the Shackleton Expanse, as we return to the shuttlecraft. Steve, if you would, my friend, I would like you to roll give me a reason and a con here as you enter into the aperture and you see the following. There is a triangular landing platform. It hangs over a massive metallic valley.
Can I use shuttle?
Yes, as a focus, yeah.
Cool.
You see that the shuttle from the Artemis is parked a little off-center of this triangular pad, plenty of room for you, as you are able to drift the shuttle into a kind of a slow counterclockwise movement and bring it along, but not too terribly close, to the shuttle from the Artemis. You hear in the back the as the chief fires up the gravity dampener just as you touch down, and for a moment it's that feeling of when a plane dips in turbulence, but this time it's just a weight that doesn't bounce back. Your stomach falls and stays there as the artificial gravity compensates for the extreme gravity of the place. This force, this making a law of nature do something it doesn't want, is disruptive. You feel nauseous for a second. All of you kind of, your vision either waters or blurs. It goes away, but there's that presence as if you're wearing a pack for a multi-week hike, and it just doesn't fit right. But you're down. You're still inside the shuttle. What do you all do?
Lieutenant, we have landed.
Well done, Ensign. All right, everyone, let's suit up and get ready to head out. We got people to find and or some sort of machine to shut off. And we don't know where the off switch is yet.
Ensign Farron helps the chief begin to prepare the sled as he, clamps down his own helmet of his Evo suit and opens up the back, waits for everybody else to become properly equipped, and prepares to drop the back of the shuttle to move the sled into a hovered position off the top of the triangular platform. He's waiting. The environmental controls and the sensors of your shuttle are still operational. As of yet, you have no information as to the interior of the sphere, but Ensign Revo is ready to open the door on your command, Lieutenant Chavez.
All right, I'd like to do a quick environmental scan to see what the atmosphere is like outside there. Are we talking about any breathable air at all, or are we going to have to go full evac suit?
You can do me a control in science here, as you are getting environmental reading. DC is 1. Anything above this will be momentum for you.
Okay, 2.
Fantastic. So you learn the following as for your environmental scan. Currently, the temperature inside the sphere, the atmosphere is oxygen-based. It is breathable by all parties involved here. It does not seem to be escaping when the aperture opened. You don't feel as if you passed through a force field. Soba could tell you that there was no experience of a normal kind of threshold event, but the Atmo is not escaping and the aperture is still somewhat open. It is cold. It is -10 Celsius, roughly 14 Fahrenheit. The neutronium is severely impacting your sensor sweep range. Your area of effect is greatly reduced. However, in addition to the environmental scans, the Artemis' shuttle is registering as being completely powered down.
Okay.
Lieutenant, should we check the shuttle?
Yeah, that was going to be the first thing I was going to have us do. Very good idea, Ensign. I try to hail the Athena to let them know that we have landed.
I will let you know that you are graced with static, but you can, there's a, almost as, sort of like when you're walking with your phone and you get a signal and then it's gone. You get a signal and then it's gone. You get that they are not reading you on the Athena, but you can see the possibility for establishing a connection, but that avenue is not to be found inside the shuttle.
Okay, I check the chronometer on my tricorder to see how much time has passed since we left our original ship and compare that with what's on the shuttle. I want to see if there's any time distortion because of the fields of the black hole.
Nice.
Roll me a reason and a science.
Nice.
Your personal device is reading a 17-hour countdown from for your 18-hour progression of your mission clock.
Two successes.
With a 2DC, you realize that the shuttle is reading 15 hours.
Okay, we have a time. All right, so everyone, we don't have as much time as we think we do. There's a 2-hour difference between here and I'm presuming between us right now and the Athena. Simply probably because of the black hole, so we need to move quickly. Let's quickly get the sled in position. Let's head over to the shuttle, the other shuttle.
With that, there's a glint of metal from inside the helmet of Ensign Revo as he pounds on the side as it opens in a hiss. You're all able to hear this because there is an oxygen-based atmo outside. As it drops to the ground, the gravity sled begins to pulse and carry the gravity dampener as the chief is kind of walking and guiding it with a hand, but at the same time, she has her tricorder out as she's getting constant readings, and her eyes dart from the device to the three of you, from the device to the three of you, as if she's making sure that the radius and the math is adding up here, making sure no one's drifting too far out of range.
Okay. All right. If everything's set, Chief, let's head to the shuttle. See if there's anybody or anything still there.
As they go, Soba grabs the ensign and kind of pulls him back as the two go forward.
May I help you?
Listen, Bajoran.
Ferengi?
He throws this in his hand. He says, "This is a Ferengi whip. I can get us off this place, and your only job is to protect us. So here this is. I know your girlfriend up there on the Athena.
The captain?
He just looks at her. Take this."
What would you like me to do with this? Is this in case you mess up? Is this what you're into, Ferengi?
You know exactly what I mean, Bajoran.
Yeah, I do.
Just protect us. Do something.
Oh, you better pray I don't do anything on this trip.
He's kind of like, and Soba kind of like pulls out his tricorder and starts like scanning the environment itself.
Sure. I will get a control and science from you as we move over to the shuttle. Welcome in, Raiders from Unmade Gaming. As we are playing a little Star Trek, you are here at a good time. The away team, consisting of Lieutenant Jabez and Ensign Soba, have just entered into an ancient craft, a sphere of Earth-sized proportions. It's not a suicide mission. It's just an away mission. That's what they keep telling themselves. Welcome, Raiders.
Can I use worth the risk?
Sure.
I won't waste our momentum. One success.
The sensor sweep is you're very limited in what you can brush through. You're picking up obviously the neutronium of the shell, and even though the shell is neutronium, it seems that a lot of the elements inside the sphere as well are neutronium. However, not all of the elements inside are neutronium, as you are getting hints of latinum and platinum.
What direction?
Everywhere.
Like, if there could be a Ferengi orgasm in his brain right now, he starts like, he kind of like almost like has to grip on to like Revo if he's still standing there. Like that. Let's get this mission going.
Everything okay back there, Ensign?
We're good, Lieutenant.
So, as Revo looks at the Ferengi and the squeeze, he just kind of shifts the rifle a bit, but he does hook the Ferengi whip to one of the loops on the outside of his suit. He adjusts it a bit, and...
Make good use of that.
Will do, Ensign. As he... for a moment, strikes a bit of a pirate pose, and then shakes his head as if his own act just embarrassed him. And he walks over to the shuttle. When you all get over to the shuttle, it is completely powered down. I am going to need a control and engineering here to get it online. The chief is with you if you would like to use her services as...
Definitely would.
So,
True.
Allison, I will ask you that if you would roll for the chief, you may do so with a 1d20. Because Jabez is there and can help, you can make it a 2d20 for her.
Am I just rolling these straight or rolling them as the...
You can use her sheet. You should have access to it. Do you guys...
I do. No, I do. So what's the roll again?
Oh, I'm sure. It's control and engineering. A success, but also a complication. So, as you are all sitting there, the complication will... Oh, that's Jabez. Okay, never mind. You're fine. You're fine. With the two that came through then for the chief kind of works with it and rushes back over to the Artemis, staying well within the range of the grav sled, and opens a panel on the side and starts hefting out a large cable as she brings it over her tall frame, throws it on the ground, and quickly plugs it in to a corresponding panel on the Artemis's shuttle. She sets it, twists it, and the Artemis's running lights begin to wink back on as power is being diverted from the Athena shuttle to the Artemis. It is open and can be entered.
Lieutenant, do you want me to check the controls on the shuttle?
Yes, let's go inside first to see what we have, if anybody's in there, and then we'll go ahead and check the controls to see what they were doing. And we open the door. Good work, Chief.
As you all get ready to open, Ensign Revo walks forward and says, Lieutenant, may I?
At your earliest convenience.
Yeah, let him go first, Lieutenant.
He unslings the phaser rifle as he holds it one-handed and reaches up and opens the door. And as it opens, he shifts his grip to the underhand of the phaser rifle. And as it opens, he moves, sweeping with the arc of the whisper. And as it he looks in and he clicks a light on the side of his helmet that shines into the illuminated but dark interior of the Artemis shuttle, and he slows his way in, and you all see the light kind of whipping back and forth, and then his head pops out as he turns the light back off. You're clear.
Okay.
You probably dream of that moment, Ensign.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't have a whip in that dream, Ensign.
All right, if you two are done chest thumping, shall we go inside? And I lead the way in.
As soon as you get inside, this is a mirror of the Artemis shuttle. However, the Athena shuttle, when you walk into the Artemis shuttle, however, you can see especially for you, Lieutenant Jabez, you were aboard the Artemis. You saw kind of the hodgepodge repairs that were done to the craft. That extends to this shuttlecraft as well. You see that several panels are open, and there's hardwired connections going between two completely separate units. Everything's working, it just looks bad, which is usually not Starfleet. But you have access to the control panel and the craft itself.
Ensign Soba, check their flight records and paths. Do I see any bodies inside?
None.
Yes,
No bodies, no Evo suits, nothing.
Soba goes immediately for the controls.
Okay. You are able to fire up the controls without the need for a roll. And as soon as you kind of bring the panel to life, Soba, you see the face of the Betazoid known as Lieutenant Virilla Evo as she's staring back, and you can tell that she's activating the recorder or the vid herself.
Is there any messages sent? That's what he was going to ask. Or he was going to check for it immediately.
Her helmet is off as she leans down. Her longer than you remember hair is kind of dipping a bit into her face. We're going deeper into the sphere. I believe a control node should be close.
Is Lieutenant Jabez with me?
Yes, I'm looking over your shoulder.
Okay.
I have no choice but to take the crew with me. We only had enough resources for one dampener. The only way to test the theory is to prove it. And the screen goes dark.
How long ago was this?
By the look of, you were told by Khan that it's only been a couple days since she entered.
What's the date on when Soba checks this?
Roll me a control in science.
Can I defer to Lieutenant Jabez to do that? I will roll one, but can I say, Lieutenant, I'm trying
I will certainly assist you.
Thank you.
Greg, do I get one or two D20 for assisting him?
You get 1 D20 for an assist.
I will get an extra D20.
No, you roll your own, and
Okay.
yeah, that's how we're gonna do it.
1.
Okay, with 2 is what you need. You are able to figure out the following. If based on the shuttle's chronometer is correct, this shuttle has been here for 10 hours.
Do you think she's close, Lieutenant?
I see. That's not even consistent with what How long has it taken us to get from our shuttle to the shuttle here?
Can we check that?
No,
Maybe.
You're checking that. Okay.
Walking time is probably what, about 5-10 minutes?
Oh, not even that. Maybe a minute. You know,
Yeah.
not
I checked
even.
my chronometer to see how much time has passed since when we left our shuttle to coming over here.
It says right around a minute, you think?
Okay, so there's
You
no
don't have anything to base it off of, though.
True. All right. Okay, let's not waste any more time here. Can we...
The rest of what you figure out is the following. You can see that sort of at the moment that this craft powered down, the last readings, almost as if someone were recording a message on an old tape player and then hit stop. You can see that the shuttle sensors registered an enormous external power surge. About, if this chronometer is to be believed, an hour after Evo's transmission or recorded message was recorded. It also seems that this shuttle had been drained of power by the surge when it was initiated.
So it cannot be taken off.
You can jump it. Basically, that's what the chief just did. The chief was able... Yeah.
Okay.
Jumper cables, so to speak.
Lieutenant, can anyone fly a shuttle? He kind of like broadly asks the chief and the Bajoran that.
Revo, everyone can fly a shuttle.
Yeah.
But well,
that's a gray area.
All right.
Koba believes that this ship can get back to the Athena if necessary.
It has the
That's
power
good.
to do so now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good to know. All right, let's head out from here.
As you're moving to leave, Lieutenant Jabez, the chief stops you as she looks, and you see her trigger on her wrist, like the forearm controls of her suit, and you realize that she's just initiated a direct suit-to-suit communication with you. The others cannot hear this.
Mm-hmm.
We have no comms with Athena. I can rig something up. The aperture is a motion sensor. I can send something up to keep triggering it open. It'll take me about 6 hours, though.
We don't have that. I don't think we've got that much time on our hands. I have a feeling time is moving. Time is shifting faster, probably shifting bigger than what we're even able to measure here. This says her message was like 10 minutes ago. And we know that can't be right.
10 hours.
10 hours. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 hours ago. Which definitely cannot be right. Is there any... Let's see.
Give me... You can see behind... And Soba, you can tell that they're talking, but you can't hear a thing. And you see...
I'm about to whisper to you. Can I hear them?
No, they're in their suits, and they're in direct communication. Jabez, you can see her doing math in her head. If you give me 2 hours, 2.5, I could rig up some type of burst. We need a signal. If we have to transport out of here or call for help, it's your decision, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I understand, but right now, time is of the essence for us, and we really don't know how much time we really have. I don't know if I have 2 hours or 2 minutes to spare for anything at this point.
I'd probably never do it.
Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to do here at the Artemis shuttle?
Is there any records in the shuttle at all saying where they went, where specifically they went?
As you view the exterior cameras of the shuttle, you can see them progressing off the triangular platform onto a catwalk that seems to run along this large metallic valley. They quickly fade from view, though, as the cameras themselves seem to hit a distortion period much sooner than they normally would. Even when you zoom in, they just seem fragmented and pixelated.
They didn't take anything out of the ordinary. Did they carry with them?
You don't know what was here to begin with, but there's
Don't know what
nothing.
they had. So, good idea, though. Let's see. About how far away is this catwalk from us?
It begins about 50 feet from your current spot.
Let's see if we can find anything evidence-wise of them. Let's follow the path that they initially left on.
Okay. You are able to proceed. Lieutenant Jabez, please give me a marching order as you all...
Soba runs over to the shuttle. Oh, 1 second. And grabs a bag. An empty bag.
Log acquisition 38. The only thing more expensive than opportunities is lost opportunities.
Lieutenant, I'm just thinking ahead. That's all.
Let's go. Let's move. We don't have time to waste.
And as you begin to walk towards the catwalk, Lieutenant Jabez, what's the marching order for this away team as they leave the safety of the shuttles?
Okay.
I'm in the back.
Secure the ensign from security in front. I'll be second. Engineering chief third, and Soba fourth.
Okay, so as it stands right now, you have Revo, Jabez, Barhanu, and Soba. And that is exactly how we see them walk off, with the grav sled kind of floating in the middle of the group, off to the side, as they get smaller and smaller, and they become distorted and pixelated as our view fades. But we go back to the Athena as we zip back. We are now 3 hours after the departure of the shuttlecraft. And who is on the bridge right now?
Hey,
What's up?
Okay.
hanging out.
I'm covering, I'd be covering Revo's shift anyway.
So
Yep.
sweet.
This is 3 hours after the shuttle has left, and you see that Ensign Olivia Wyatt over on comms starts to touch her ear and begins to move her panel as she... Captain?
Yes?
I thought I got something from the direction of the sphere, but it's nothing. I'm going to try to clean it up, but it doesn't sound like anything. It's just frequencies. It sounds like a shattered signal, but I'll give it a shot. I'll try to see what I can put together.
Perfect, thank you. Let me know what you get.
She falls to work.
Can I have been doing research this whole time?
Research.
Research!
Sure, what would you like to research?
I want to literally comb through every Starfleet record looking for anything even remotely similar to this fucking sphere. Literally anything that seems similar to the sphere.
Big sphere.
Big sphere.
Right.
Neutronia.
Yeah. Yes.
Why don't you roll me if you're going to do some research?
Is there not like a command F?
You have to know where to look.
Sphere.
Sphere.
Give me a reason
Okay.
and whatever discipline you're science. If you're looking for like neutronium,
Why
So-
would you do this to me right now?
because you want to do research. This is Star Trek. This is Star Trek research.
Oh my god, I will never find anything at this rate. We're about to get fucked, everybody. Here I go.
Captain, I feel like you'd have just enlisted all of us. You know, certainly your senior staff. And
Yes.
I have so little to do.
I would have just been like, I mean, if anybody was like, what's the captain doing? She's doing research. It's very obvious.
I will say that
Help me.
you do know somebody, even though you have several science officers on the ship,
Yeah.
despite Jabez not being.
Sphere.
Yeah. everyone help research. Because
So-
the more we can find out about it, maybe if we find out something extra bad, we can try and call them back or something like that.
Oh, the horse is already out of the barn. Let's check and see if there's going to be a storm bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get Delilah on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Horseshoes are already on.
Put Delilah to work.
Help us, sweet angel. And I will do it too because I am good.
I'm going to be doing some research here too, but primarily focused on other starships in the past that may have entered these expanse type areas, you know?
Shut up.
That's amazing.
I'm just
Oh my god.
let me just roll the dice and see what happens.
I was
guessing.
rolling
Sure.
against a fucking 8.
Okay.
So good at research. Wow.
Jabez, why don't you go ahead and roll for your second for me? It's a 1d10, but she can do exactly what I said before. What was it? Reason and science.
Can I do it as a reason engineering?
Yes.
Help me.
Greg, do we have any probes left?
Oh, you all have a shitload of probes.
Okay.
You guys are actually your science pod that's underneath the Athena. You all have a probe factory. It's basically just a large replicator type of situation, but
Sorry, go ahead, finish.
that specific unit was providing probes to both the Artemis and the Athena. The
Okay.
Artemis had munitions on it for no reason other than that's how things kind of blocked out.
Okay.
Can Delilah use her astronomy focus?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. Great job. Look at how great we did.
That's about as well as you can do. I'm going to let you all know this. For Elsie and Delilah, the DC was 2, so put 2 momentum away for yourselves. It was also 2 for Quinn, so put another momentum away as you were all able to gather as much information as you can. Now,
Is Nat doing this as well? Is Nat doing research as well?
No.
Oh, sorry. Just thought I'd check.
She's got her eyes trained on Khan. She's in love.
so
No argument.
Friends on the surface. Don't worry.
So
You're not here. Be quiet.
let's start with Quinn. Quinn, you see that there are several ships that have gone missing in the sector. Now, a lot of these ships, whether they were Federation or Starfleet themselves or, allied ships or anything of that nature, there's also records of Klingon and Romulan ships going missing, Orion craft, Orion freighters and pirate ships going missing. This is a very odd triangle right here, as the Romulan Star Empire, the Klingons, the Federation, and the Orion Syndicate are all very close to the Shackleton Expanse. Now, a lot of these craft were later discovered to have been destroyed, whether it would be by natural causes in an asteroid field or unnatural causes by a member of the Star Empire or the Klingons. However, as you go through your research, you do find that several Federation craft had gone missing and never been accounted for in this region of space. That's not to say that they were lost in the Shackleton Expanse. Their whereabouts and their signatures were just never found. Among these craft, you have the USS... What's this one? The USS Normandy, which was about 70 years ago. And the USS Apollyon, which was much more recent.
You can give me some class and additional information outside of this, just if I need it. I would
Right,
assume it's there.
Yeah, the Normandy's Constitution class, and the Apollyon is Miranda class. Still in service, not Miranda as of, right. Okay. Now, as for the other group, as far as neutronium goes, neutronium being the densest, one of the rarest materials, the fact that you have found a deposit that is roughly the size of Earth is a significant find in and of itself. Very small deposits of neutronium have been found across the alpha and beta quadrants. It is if the Federation science is to be believed and the Vulcan Science Academy is to be understood, it is not native to this region of space. Any deposits that have been found have been in the form of unidentified craft that have broken up over whether it be a space field or against the planet, old structures, and by old, we're talking millions of years old. But there have always been small deposits. The biggest, maybe the size of a baseball. You're looking at one the size of Earth right now. It is also, just for your knowledge, even though you would know this, it is nearly impossible. It's absolutely impossible to transport through. And there are ways to kind of bounce communication signals around to kind of make it through, but you can't pierce neutronium with communications, nor is there any weapon that you've encountered, even Borg quality, able to pierce neutronium.
Can't pick that shit up, can you?
Sure, if you find
You
some.
want to take the planet with us?
It's extremely dense. The densest material out there. So even a
Way
small
too
piece
heavy.
is going to be super heavy. However, you do have a grav sled with you.
But nothing about like something like this that's had weird effects on nearby planets, black holes, nothing like this specific situation.
Unfortunately, no.
Dope. Olivia.
She's just furiously moving over there.
Okay.
Yes, Lauren?
Captain.
Lieutenant Commander.
Mm-hmm. Permission to send a probe to the Artemis.
Permission granted.
Great.
I think it's only fair if they send one after us.
Are you sending it directly to the Artemis, or the last known location of the Artemis, or are you sending it to their probe?
I think the last known location we had them at was what, half a light year away?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you put something in a probe?
What would you like to put in there?
Like a message in a bottle?
Yep. Like a message in a bottle.
The police
Or do you want to hide
playing?
inside it?
No, I don't want to hide inside it.
Sending out a miss. Okay.
Calm down. Yes, I would like to put something inside the probe. Like a message in a bottle.
It's only.
Why do you think I was asking about probes?
I love everybody else is like message in a bottle, and then you like stop, tell everybody to shut up. You're like, no, a message in the bottle. Okay.
What does it say?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love you. Come back.
I hate you right now. Everything hurts and I'm dying. I put in it a bag of trail mix.
Okay.
And I send it off.
Okay.
Is that secret code?
Yes, Summer, it's secret code.
What's it mean?
I'm not telling you.
It'll take the probe a while to reach the last known position of the Artemis. You've got about 90 minutes, 2 hours before it does so.
Yeah.
So you can just, it's cruising.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to biting my nails.
Okay, they're there waiting for you. At this point, everybody that's on the ship, and in fact, this can actually be the entire crew right now, I need you all to create for me our transporter chief. So I'm going to ask you right now, I would like the deets on the USS Athena's transporter chief. Who are we dealing with? Who is down manning the beamers?
What's the hardest accent we can give Greg to do?
He's not going to do it, but you can absolutely.
Liar.
Coleman Meany.
What did you even say?
Packlid.
No.
Robin.
What's the guy on the Enterprise? What's his name?
No, we hate him.
like him.
Let's do a Klingon.
Klingon?
What a fucking crew we've got here, huh?
We got a real fucking interesting crew.
Good day, Two Beam.
That would be horrible.
They're just a guy. Just a chill guy.
A very chill Klingon.
How about Jeffers?
That's not their name. Aren't you busy?
I like Jeffers.
Klingon name.
Can't be a Vulcan name.
We can't have a Klingon, can we? I don't know. We've got a Ferengi.
We were just attacked by Klingon like 1 day ago.
I think
yeah.
we're still
Jill.
where the treaty is still upheld.
Big Jeff. We'll call him Big Jeff.
Oh my god. Their name's not Jeffers.
I mean, I'll allow a Klingon if you all want one, but
Oh my god, fine. I don't know why you asked. Somebody else answer.
Big Jeff.
no, I'll definitely take a Klingon. I don't mind.
No, I don't want a Klingon now.
I want their name to be
How about
Orion.
Big Jeff. I like Big Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you have now.
Big Jeff.
This is what I've got. This is what you've done, Greg. Okay.
Flock.
Jesus. Okay.
Why did you ask us?
I don't know.
Why would
Summer.
you ask us?
I like that you asked us, Big Jeff.
This could have been fun with 5 other people.
Jeffers is not a good name.
Big Jeff.
Yeah. You can call him Big Jeff. His real name is Joe Flock.
This is taking up our playtime. I just want everyone to know.
This is really Big Jeff. Let's go with it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's not their real name. You can call them that, but that is not their real name.
Okay. We're going with a half Klingon, half human.
Okay. Or back from my college days when I played Klingon
The
Army.
Federation would never allow on this, by the way.
And
Lord quits.
with this transporter chief, we'll call him Locke. We'll figure out what the full name is at some
But
point.
that's my last name.
That's super confusing.
Oh Jesus!
Ridiculous.
Okay, right.
Just go with Big Jeff.
Do it. It's so confusing.
Okay, we'll call him
Worst.
Lon. How's that? Lon. Lon.
Lonnie.
That's like
Sure.
2 steps.
Okay, Steve, I'm going to mute you. Okay, so as we are on the bridge, you would all hear your Klingon, half Klingon transporter chief say the following. This is Chief to Bridge.
We're here.
Captain, I need to talk to you.
Of course. Would you like to come here? Or you want me to come down?
Hey, ma'am, if you could come here.
I'll be right there. Get up. Olivia, let me know the moment you get something. And a
Yes,
go.
Captain. Here
we go. Lawn.
Okay, so as you zip down through the as the tube opens up and you walk out into the hallway leading to the transporter room, the lights begin to flicker in this abandoned hallway. And they come back up online.
I keep going.
Without a roll, you notice that there is nobody on this deck.
Don't like that.
The
Can
turbo
I?
lift doors close behind you.
Cool.
Shh.
Can I look for somebody in here? There's nobody in here. There's got to be somebody in here. I'm about to get exploded.
There's 430 minus 17 people on this ship, and no one seems to be in this hallway right now.
She takes a few steps forward. Hello? I'll walk the entire hall.
Okay. Are you doing so quietly or with purpose?
No, I'm not hiding. Stomp,
Okay.
stomp, stomp. I go down the hall.
Okay, I would like you then to roll me a presence and command as you walk down the hall.
Oh, absolutely, I will. You're joking me.
You're only good at research. That is great. The research is nailed. This one you've got like literally twice.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your goddamn mouth, Greg. Okay, so as you begin to kind of thud through the carpeted hallway, like we mentioned before, the Springfield class is a smaller version of a Galaxy class, configured differently, but the interior is the same. It is not a warship. It is definitely a space exploration craft. It has a lot of people on the ship that are not military minded whatsoever, and so the environment inside the Springfields was meant to mirror a hospitable living environment. And so the same carpets and walls and curves without edges that you would see on a Galaxy craft like the Enterprise, you would see in the Springfield. And as you're walking, the lights begin to, the low and the high lights begin to, as they on and off kind of blink and at this point, I would like Lieutenant Quinn, you're in engineering. Make me just a regular insight and engineering roll, please.
One success.
You are called over by one of your team as they point out the power fluctuations that are currently occurring on the transporter deck.
Any idea what's causing this? And I'm talking as I'm beginning to troubleshoot.
Yeah, your team immediately kind of moves from their stations as three people on a specific, department turn into one as they begin to peel personnel off to help you. They are a well-oiled machine down here in main engineering. And as they drop in, you see them swing into chairs and start looking around. You may roll me another, I'll take a reason and an engineering, and you may use the ship as well as everybody kind of falls in line. But let's go back to the captain while these rolls are starting to come in, because these things are happening simultaneously.
And tell me what the ship roll is.
Let's see, reason and engineering, and then for the Athena, I'm gonna take sensors and engineering, because you're doing an internal scan. So, Captain, as you're walking down, you still don't see anybody in this area as you're nearing the location of where you knew Lon would have called from the transporter pad, the first transporter room.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still that...
Captain to the bridge.
Go ahead, Captain.
Lon. Where is he?
Computer, locate Lon, please.
Lonnie, where are you?
Chief DeLon is not aboard the ship.
Captain, where are you?
What deck am I on?
I think it's deck 12 is the transporter room.
I'm in the transporter room, deck 12.
Computer, when was DeLon last on the ship?
The timestamp that you are given is indicative of the same time that the shuttle bay has blown apart.
Captain, I believe you have been lured to deck 12 and should return immediately to the bridge.
She'll start walking back.
Captain, I'm going to meet you halfway.
I'll see you soon.
And I go to the turbo lift.
Mm-hmm.
Not Jeffrey's tube. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
It's
yet.
going to get that bad. We already know it, Greg. Okay, so as you whip down, we'll go back to main engineering. As you are able to ascertain, Lieutenant Quinn, that the power fluctuations seem to be originating from somewhere in the same area of your department of engineering that was damaged during the Klingon attack. Several of your team have called it the Dark Zone. That's where Tasatek was attacked.
I say to Satek, who's still here, right? Here, take this console. It looks like this is tracing back into the Dark Zone, and as I walk in that direction, I walk past the cabinet on the wall where we keep weapons, and I pull out open it up, type in my access code, pull out a Type 1 phaser, and press it to my side as I start walking back there.
Tasatek's eyebrow raises as they look at you. Captain, or Chief, is there anything that we need to do, Lieutenant? Perhaps I should call Lieutenant Commander Nealon.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Actually, Quentin Nealon.
Go ahead. They don't do that, but
I am.
Go for Nealon.
I'm showing some strange activity here back in the Dark Zone. It seems to be causing some fluctuations down on deck 12. But I think it's isolated to there. I'm just going to go back and check it out. And can you keep an eye on me or something?
I will send a team to your location. I am presently going to retrieve the captain from deck 12. Damn it. Captain Locke.
Lieutenant Commander. Love that for me.
Greg, you're muted for the stream.
Of course I am. Hey everybody, inside the sphere, as the away team is beginning to progress inside and deeper into the sphere through the catwalk, they're retracing the steps of the team from the Artemis as Lieutenant Varilla Evo and her squad went into the sphere. There's no dust to disturb or path of the normal variety to follow. However, you are able to use your tricorders and follow the deterioration of the gravity dampener that they used. You can see that kind of degradation as the elements involved in that device leave a bit of a trail for an extended period of time. And as it's only been 10 hours, if their chronometer is to be believed, it's very easy to follow these breadcrumbs. And as you progress a little bit further, you round a corner and you see a large triangular computer terminal. You know it's a computer terminal because a Starfleet issue tricorder is plugged into it.
All right, I immediately go up to it to see if is this like an engineering tricorder? Is it a science tricorder? What service would it be from?
This is engineering, and it is currently plugged in, but everything seems to be powered down. I will take
tricorder or the terminal?
both.
Or both? I unplug. I try to turn the tricorder on to see if I can read anything off of it. No juice.
Chief Barano comes up and she kind of pulls out her own tricorder and pulls a smaller kind of link and plugs it into the side. And after a brief transfer, you see the screen light up on the recently found tricorder. Okay. It should be good to go, Lieutenant.
Okay, help me look this over, make sure we don't miss anything that they might have recorded of importance.
Roll me a reason and a science. And if anybody's keeping watch, roll me an insight and security. And I'm assuming that...
Yes.
Gotcha.
Did we decide if we could use momentum for them or not?
Yes, you can. You can use momentum to bump them up to a 2d20 if you'd like.
Cool, probably, yeah.
You said science? What did you say for me to roll, Greg? My mind just went blank.
Reason and engineering or science.
Or science. We'll go with the science.
Can I use like big fan of living here because shit ain't looking right.
If you want to be watching around, yes, you can use that as a focus for insight and security.
I used the wrong one there, Greg. Let me redo it.
Sure thing.
Do we have any momentum?
You do. Yep, currently have 4.
I'm going to use momentum to roll an extra dice. If that's possible.
Okay.
It's fine with me, yeah.
Oh, did I do that?
Okay, 2 successes for Soba. You actually earn your momentum back and a complication, or you can spend your momentum to erase the complication if you'd like at this point.
Let's erase it.
Okay. You are able to power back on the panel, and as Revo looks around, and presumably as Soba look around, you don't see anything, no evidence of anyone else, but you haven't this entire time. You've been following a gravimetric trail. However, when the terminal fires back on, I am going to give you all the following devil's bargain. There's information in this terminal. I will give you 1 bit of information for free, but there are 3 other bits. Those bits can be purchased for a momentum apiece.
How about a determination apiece?
Oh, let's just spend it. Let's spend it up.
Revo will spend one. He's
I was going to
allowed.
get your permission before y'all's permission before spending. I have a feeling the more what.
How
Let's
about
see.
determination?
Would my value of there's never such thing as too much knowledge be a factor in how much these cost?
No, I'm going to make you spend momentum on these. I understand that you all want to use your determinations, but that's just for successes.
Hey, it was worth a
Spend
shot.
it.
Okay.
Spend it
We're
up.
going to spend all 3.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you see the following as the terminal comes alive in front of you. This triangular terminal, it's odd at first because the pictures seem to appear as if they're oriented incorrectly. They're oriented almost as if you should be viewing them from above and to the left and above and to the right, but they slowly move and quickly join and orient themselves down. It's difficult. It's almost nauseating to see these kind of fractal vids come into play, but you quickly kind of realize to wait until they form before you kind of begin to process them. It is very alien in nature how they're kind of putting themselves together. But with your first bit of free information, you see Evo and 5 Artemis science and security officers descending from this position deeper into the sphere. You see them leave this position, the tricorder left behind, as they move along the same path that you are looking down and watching as it goes into the darkness. You also find what appears to be not a crude map, but a digital map. So there's no really relief to it. It's more of just a 2-dimensional map that Evo has created, leading to something labeled the control room. You also see vids, but you cannot identify the location. It's not somewhere that you've been before. You see what look to be gravitational anomalies swirling like whirlwinds. And as they touch the neutronium and the latinum and the platinum walls, those walls warp like water or liquid metal. They bow and bend like branches in the storm. And as these whirlwinds pass by, this dense neutronium is left splashed. And finally, it slowly comes into orientation from the left, right, and center. You see a vid of some massive construct. If it is to be believed, it is probably 25, 30 feet tall. It has a triangular head, and it is in the process of disintegrating what looks like a security officer from the USS Artemis. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will end this episode of Star Trek Continuing Mission. Yay.
Oh my.
It's perfect. It's the perfect place to be. It's a vacation spot. Oh, we got right where I wanted to be. I'm so happy. Let's go around and talk to everybody and see how happy
Yeah,
they
we're
are.
thrilled. We're thrilled for you, Greg. That's great.
We're happy for you.
All right, let's go around and talk to all my dear friends. Let's start with the captain.
Uh-huh.
Summer, how are you?
So good.
You'll be a little bit better at the end, but we'll go around and do everything real quick.
So good. No, I love shit like this. I'm into it. I love being in a Bermuda Triangle in space. It's so fun here. We love research. We hate being good at the one thing that we're good at. I don't know. I'm Summer. You can find me on the internet at Just a Summer Job on Twitter. That's where I retweet everything that I'm doing. If you're interested in finding out what that stuff is, most immediately tomorrow, I will be running Alas for the Awful Sea over on Off the Table. That's off_the table. We're sad by the ocean. We're not in it this time. We're by it. But it is definitely really sad. So come check us out. Yeah. Yay. I'm not dead.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I'm just not on the ship.
Right, we'll roll back around.
Yay.
Let's talk to the away team commander. Hawk, how are you doing, my friend, and where can we find you online, buddy?
Oh, doing so far so good. I know that we're on the right trail. I just hope we don't run out of time before we run out of trail, or both. I'm doing good. You can find me all around on Twitter, Twitch, and other places. KY Hawkeye. Tomorrow night will be my Lego stream, and then after that, I will be on the Fellowship of the Tables channel, where we're doing Rise of the Rune Lords, a D&D. Actually, it's a Pathfinder module that someone has converted to fifth edition D&D that we've just started playing. Last week was our first episode. Thursdays will be my weekly Skyrim serial, and then Saturday will be Saving Throw Wrestling. I'll be uploading last Saturday's episode later on, either tonight or tomorrow, and then I believe it's now going to. We're done with Sky Chases now, so I guess the other time will be back when we're on here.
Sounds
provided
good.
I can get everyone back home safely.
Oh, my money's on you, my friend. Let's go over to Allison. Allison, my friend, how are you doing, and where can we find you?
I'm doing great. I love this. I really do. I really, really do. It's so much fun. You can find me in places, and those places are best found on my Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. And in the next 7 days, I'm going to be playing this really cool chief engineer and a journalist who hunts for cryptids, and a nun, I think. Right? So that is happening in the next 7 days. Yes. A really cool, really smart nun who sees the future. She's so cool. Thank you, Lauren. Yes, I love all of this. I had a blast with all of you. I'm thrilled that I get to do this stuff with you and with you, chat. See you next time.
I love when people describe their characters and say, I get to be the following, and it's always just the greatest. When it's a smattering of the most diverse spectrum of people you can think of, Starfleet and a nun and an investigator, that's the best. I love it. Let's go over to my buddy Steve. Steve, how are you doing
tonight? It beats the hell out of real life, at
doesn't
least.
It? Really, doesn't it?
Fuck that goddamn real life. Fuck all that shit.
How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I will not be here next week, so I'm a little nervous about anybody controlling Soba, because I know I've been telling Hawk privately, we need to go. We need to get the fuck out of here. Let's fuck this place. Fuck them. Fuck everybody else. I could not use more F-bombs in my syllables. So, it ain't looking good down here. This is a real...
It's a bit of a shit show, but you got good leadership.
A real shit show. We need to go. Who cares about them? Who cares about what's going on in this place? Get that ship fired up, and we'll get out of here. Other than that, I had a blast. I mean, just fun. Star Trek is definitely a challenge for me because it's so much scientific stuff, and I just, I try to keep up. So I love it. I love playing what I'm doing. I've grown to love Ferengi. Well, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. So
you're embracing the Ferengi lifestyle. Fantastic. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make money and keep myself safe.
I think we're doing Realms Remembered in 2 weeks too. So
yep. Realms Remembered is online. We're going to be coming up very, very soon.
A way different character. A way different character.
Fantastic, my friend. And let's go up finally to Lauren. Lauren, my friend, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be? Look how fine I am. Everything's fine. I'm not getting shit from all sides. I'm Lauren. I'm not Salty Ginger over on Twitter. I play lots of games here. So many games. So many. Good night.
And I'd just like to say that you've got a friend in Revo. He is
my only friend, and I will die for him, so don't hurt him.
I promise you,
What
I'm
an
not going to
angel.
do anything to get him hurt. I actually like him. I'm wearing security right now because of that. So
It's the best.
I
right?
gave him a whip. He's got a whip for you.
He's got a whip. That'll take.
You know what, Greg? You can kill everybody else on the away mission, but not Farron.
Oh, that's reassuring.
I meant it.
Thanks. Right. Okay, so normally this is where we would
I'm not
sign
gonna
off.
say anything.
Normally this is where we would sign off, but I would like to do one little thing for everybody that stuck around for our outros. As much like the Marvel universe, perhaps we will do a little mid-credit scene. Captain Locke, as you are moving deeper into the area, you've just talked to Lieutenant Commander Nat Nealon. The only thing that is ahead of you is the transporter room door.
I go in.
Shh. As soon as it opens, you see that the electrical surges in this area have continued as the pads themselves are glowing and then darkening, glowing and then darkening. And the room is in a battle between twilight and dawn as it... And the half-Klingon chief, Lon, turns and looks at you. Captain, what's going on here?
I'm not sure. Lieutenant Commander, are you on your way?
You hear nothing.
Lieutenant Commander? I was just speaking to her a moment ago. We can return to the bridge. How long has this been going on?
For the past hour, I've been trying to reach everyone. I felt was that an explosion? Were we hit by something?
It was an internal explosion. We should go. I don't know that it's safe here. Nealon said something about being lured here, so we should go back.
Captain, look, quickly, but I can only show you here. And he's indicating his transporter station.
Okay, I go over and look.
As he looks at everything, he says, Captain, I was running a normal transporter audit, making sure that everything was correct, but I wanted to make sure that no one was diverting energy, and I cross-referenced with internal environmental scanners, and the transporter fields, they release energy, which spikes the environmental controls for a moment, and I found something, a sight-to-sight from the exterior of the ship to one of the cargo bays.
She just slowly nods. And that's all.
Yes, so I traced it to its point of origin on the exterior of the craft. And he moves kind of like with a swipe. The vid that he's looking at appears at the desk in front of you, and it begins to play, and they're in full 16K high def or whatever it is that they're rocking with. You see someone in an Evo suit, and the suit goes gold to red to blue, and then you see the telltale light of a beam out. Captain, I do not recognize this person.
Nor do I. Their suit, it was changing color. We were attacked when we were returning to the ship. It must be the same person.
I put him through the transporter profiler. He's Orion. And that is where we will end this episode of Star Trek Continuing Mission. Ladies and gentlemen, as the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. We'll see you next time, friends.